Imagine a world where the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat are overshadowed by the insidious grip of addiction. Picture a landscape where the integrity of our most cherished sports is compromised and the dreams of aspiring athletes are tainted by corruption. Today we discuss a pressing issue, sports betting. I'm incredible to listen because I've done countless hours of research, and you should listen because it'll make you smarter and wealthier. First, I'm going to go over the problem. Then, I'm going to go over the causes. Next, I'm going to talk about the solution. And finally, what the opposition thinks. Now that you know I'm going to persuade you that sports betting is not beneficial, first let's discuss the problems. So the first problem is addiction. So for those of you who don't know, if you sports bet on an app, there's things you can make called parlays. For example, if you do a 4-leg parlay, that means 4 specific things that you choose have to happen for you to get the money. Now, if those things don't happen, you lose all the wagered money that you put up. And if you win once, you might think you're going to start winning a lot, but you slowly start losing. It could lead to bankruptcy, and not only does that make financial issues, but it could also lead to mental health issues and relationship issues. None of it's good. Another issue is integrity or fairness. As you can see in this picture, it looks like someone's pulling the strings of a football game. Now, this can happen with officials, but most of the time with referees. And what happens is they intentionally call the wrong stuff in order for a financial gain or for reputation if the whole league is corrupt. It happened years ago. And I have a quote here said by Paul Feinstein, he's a sports journalist, from the 27 NBA betting scandal. Millions of dollars changed hands as Donahue called fouls at critical junctures of games to swing the betting line one way or another. So in this example, this guy Donahue would call wrong stuff, and only on games that he was officiating, and his bets would keep hitting. It went on for a long amount of time, but the FBI eventually investigated him because of the bets, and he went to jail. This still happens today, but it's harder. Now that we know about the problems, let's move on to the cause. So as many of you know, FanDuel and DraftKings are 2 of the most popular apps for sports betting. Now they're really easy to get. All you have to do is download them, put your personal information like name, first and last name, link a card, and add your SSN. Now, it's not that there's no consequence against minors, but in my perspective too, many of the people that I've seen that are even underage use their parents' information, card, and SSN. So it's very hard, actually impossible for the app to know it's a minor because all they see is that information of an adult. Now I have a quote from the Mental Health and Recovery Board of Portage County. The National Council on Problem Gambling says there may be twice as much of a risk for gambling problems for those among sports betting communities. So not only is gambling itself super addictive, but sports gambling is twice as much as that, which is crazy to think about. Another thing is financial incentive. So as I was talking about with the match fixing earlier, there's a lot of oversight, especially when the whole league is corrupt. If the ref makes these incorrect calls and someone above them is also corrupt, there's oversight that goes on for money. We just learned about the causes. Next, I want to go over what type of solutions can be done to change this. So some solutions would be public awareness campaigns. There's something called PGAM. It's Public Awareness Campaign Month. It's in March, and they do similar to what I'm doing right now, talk to a large sum of people about the issues of gambling and sports betting. You can also call 1-800-GAMBLER. It's a helpline number. If you have other issues leading from gambling too, like mental health, they could always link you to another helpline. And another possible solution could be enhanced regulation. So for example, if we go back to this Donahue guy, a ref, right, made a wrong call in basketball. Now we have so many cameras in 2024, we're technologically advanced, that the coach can challenge a call. They walk up to these computers and they watch what just happened in play, decide if the call was legitimate or not. So it's very hard to get away with match rigging now, today. And with clear-cut evidence, they would also get longer jail time. So I have a quote from a former professional basketball player. Arena speculates that sports gambling has a lot to do with how games are officiated these days. So just to support what I was just saying, with these solutions, I'll now go over the opposition. So the opposition thinks that public campaigns may be ineffective and costly, but it's really gambling that's more ineffective and more costly. And they say that sports betting apps equals guaranteed money gained, but the reward's never guaranteed. I have a quote from Devin Patana, sports journalist. Winnings are not guaranteed, and you may lose all of your wagered funds. So if we look at these statistics here, 25% of people in this survey thought that sports betting can be just as addictive as drugs. And 20% thinks that sports betting makes watching sports way more thrilling. On the other hand, in this survey, about half disagree that sports betting should be legalized, but 65% of people do not think that it's morally wrong to bet on sports. Now that I've shown you what the opposition thinks, let's recap and conclude. First, I went over the problem, then I went over the cause, next I went over the solution, and finally I talked about the opposition. So just remember, next time you make a big bet, remember your choices shape your own future. I'm open to questions.